In today's video, we'll be looking at the Enforcers for Firefight, 2nd edition. In the Warpath universe, there is the Council of Seven, which are the inner workings of the GCPS, which is essentially all of mankind controlled by corporations, or megacorporations, whatever word you want to use, it's basically that. The GCPS is each corporation's own secret army, or rather, not so secret army. The Enforcers, however, are somewhat secretive in the fact that some don't know who controls them, but obviously the higher-ups in the GCPS do. They are the Council of Seven's private army, as I've just established. They are genetically modified humans. They are human only. They use a few mechanised units such as drones, but long and short of it is it's mainly genetically modified humans. Not only that, they kind of all look the same in the sense of that they wear a uniform colour scheme, and it kind of makes it hard for enemies to see who's who. Maybe I shot that person a while ago, maybe I didn't, maybe it's someone else, maybe it's not. Some people, rightly or wrongly, will compare the Enforcers to Games Workshop's Space Marines, and it's not a wholly unfair comparison. Genetically modified humans, genetically modified humans. However, the Enforcers are more realistic in the sense that their proportions look more like genetically modified humans rather than edgelord, over-the-top super soldiers, which at some points still have awesomeness to them, but I mean, it's Tardo trope, let's be honest. The Enforcers still have some worth to them in terms of how far they can go, and at the time of this video's recording, they've still got some more tricks to show people. But enough about that, let's go into what's in their army list. Starting with the faction orders on page 82, if you're using this book, which kind of what I'm going off, so if you're not, you're going to be somewhat confused. First one is Precision Fire, uses 2 command points. All trademark weapons in the unit gains the marksman keyword and +1 AP, and you can boost it for +1 command point. In addition, all trademark weapons increase their range by 6, so that's basically laser rifles and laser pistols. They're called Gatling 45, laser rifle and laser pistols, but I'm just going to refer to them as laser rifle and laser pistol unless something is a little bit different. So if I don't say the full names of weapons, it just makes it easier to say. Going back to that command faction order, that's pretty decent. To get the full effect, you're going to have to spend 3 command points. Yeah, there are ways to get extra command points, not just from command units, so it might not be that hard to do, but you are still using a fair few. However, just using the basic 2, you're re-rolling 1s for shooting, which isn't bad, and re-rolling 1s to hit for shooting, should I say, and you're also adding +1 AP to their weapons, which, yes, some of their more specialised weapons have AP, but some of the more baseline Enforcer weapons don't have AP when it comes to shooting, so that's a little bit of a weakness they've got. It's not a bad order. I think it really helps them out a lot. It's a really effective one. I don't think there's really any situation that it's not good. I suppose against Forge Father it's going to be a bit meh, because you have to re-roll to wound them, because a lot of them have got the heavy armour keyword. But if you're not up against Forge Fathers, then chances are it's not going to be a bad one. Next we have High Velocity Ammo for 2 command points. When targeting a unit with the vehicle keyword, the unit's trademark weapons gain the anti-tank keyword and +1 AP. Now, if you're going against a lot of vehicles, this is a pretty good one. In fact, this would be a pretty good order to use for the Annihilation mode, where you have to take a lot of vehicle-based units. And so your small unit of infantry could really, really, really benefit from this. In normal games, it still will have its uses, because 9 times out of 10 you will see at least one vehicle, even if it's just a troop transport or something like that. They're going to have one. Next we have Go, Go, Go for 2 command points. Units with the vehicle keyword may not benefit from this order. As a long action, the unit may advance, shoot, then advance again in that order. This is a pretty good one. This is very good for getting into objectives. This is very good for getting into combat. And on the face of it, it might not seem like it's very good for getting into combat, but I'll explain. In Firefight, you can either charge into combat or you can just move into combat. Charging into combat will get you a bit of a benefit, such as being more accurate when hitting your opponent and being able to go first. However, if you just move in, you don't get to go first. You both strike together, which is how it goes. However, if you use this order, you can move forward towards the enemy, shoot them, and if you've got a pinning weapon, the enemy gets some penalty to hit in close combat, and then advance into close combat. You could also use this this order to go into a building, or maybe rush enemies in a building, maybe flush them out if it's a small unit perhaps. It's very versatile, and I think it's probably one that's going to have some competition with Precision Fire, I feel. I still think Go Go Go's better, but Precision Fire does have its uses. Next we have Ready for Anything for 1 command point. At the end of this unit's activation, they can be marked on Overwatch in addition to any other actions performed, boosted for +1 command point. In addition, the unit is immune to pinning by any means until the end of the round. This is a fantastic order, especially if the unit is on an objective, or in a building, or, well, mainly on an objective. Basically, if you think an enemy unit is going to charge you, then this means you're going to be ready for it no matter what. And if that unit that charges you or moves into combat with you has got a HMG or any other pinning weapon, or even other units have got pinning weapons that are going to help the unit charge into combat, then this is going to make it a pointless effort. If you've got a big unit of 8, mostly you won't have a unit. You can't have a unit of 10 actually. Biggest you can have is a unit of 8. You can also, you could use it as vehicles as well. So, yeah, your planes that the enforcers can get can be immune to anti-aircraft weapons. Well, immune to the pinning of anti-aircraft weapons. They will still take damage from them. I think this is best when used on objectives, and you kind of want to use both effects, to be honest. But that's just me. That's the best way I'd use it. Next we have The Council Expects for 2 command points. As a long action, the unit may perform 2 shoot actions with all its trademark weapons, but may not re-roll to hit for any reason. The second shoot action must target a different unit. Non-trademark weapons may not be used during either shoot actions. This is one where you're going to have to just use it on a unit that's not got many special weapons. Although majority of the unit with trademark weapons will have trademark weapons, so it's still not going to be a bad option to do. Considering the trademark weapons for enforcers don't have AP on them, this kind of means you're going to have to pepper light and medium infantry. Heavy infantry or Forge Fathers, absolutely no point using this order on, to be honest. You might thin them out by 1 or 2 models, but really I can't see the point of it. Against Plague and Marauders, I can see a definite point to it. Maybe Vermin as well. But against other Enforcers and Forge Fathers, it's not really much use, to be honest. Finally, we have Shock Resistant Armour for 2 command points. Units with the vehicle keyword may not benefit from this order. Ignore blast and devastating keywords on weapons targeting this unit, and its successful hits only do a maximum of 1 damage each. Again, this is very good on an objective or on units going towards an objective or trying to charge unit and such like. There's one weapon that springs to mind, and it's the quad heavy Hellstorm autocannon. That's got 8 shots each per Hellstorm. It's got 8 shots is what I'm trying to say. Oh no, okay, yeah, so okay, so that's still weird. Okay, I've read that wrong. I do apologise. Yes, so basically, blast and devastating do nothing. You just do 1 hit from them. Okay, that last sentence, any successful hits only do a maximum of 1 damage each. That throws me. That doesn't need to be in the book. Ignore that completely. Basically, if you've been hit by a lot of heavy ballistic weapons that throw explosions and whatnot around, going to be not much use on this unit. You're going to use this order on. So, okay, it's a bit situational, and the fact you can't use it on vehicles is a little bit less useful. It's not useless, but I think considering what the others can do, I think it's the most situational. Next we have the troops starting on page 82. First one is the Pathfinders. Speed 612, shoot of 4, assault of 4, armour 5, 2 health, nerve of 3, height of 2, unit strength 2, 110 points. Advanced training, controlled fire, scout. You get 1 leader and 4 Pathfinders. The Pathfinders have each got a tag rifle, which is 24-inch range, 1 dice, AP1, marksman, vicious in shooting. And the leader has got a tag pistol, which is basically 12-inch range, but the same abilities as a tag rifle otherwise. They've all got assault weapons, which in this case is just an assault, 1 dice. You can add Cryptis Tech for 10 points. Unit gains stealthy. That's pretty decent. If you want this unit in a building or on an objective where there's cover around it, it's pretty good. I'd recommend taking it all times on Pathfinders, to be honest. It's only 10 points and it's a -1 to hit them, so why not? Well, -1 to hit them for shooting. You can replace one of the Pathfinder's tag rifles for a sniper rifle for 10 points. 36-inch range, 1 dice, AP2, sniper scope, targeting systems. Sniper scopes, if used correctly, can be devastating. I would use them on special weapons because they can target individual models apart from the leader. You can also target drones, so if a drone is giving the medic ability or cloaking or a command dice or anything of that degree, it's really going to disrupt that unit. It also gives a ping marker on, so I honestly think it's a no-brainer. Kind of want to do it. You can also add a single drone, a dog drone, for 15 points. It comes with the burst laser, which is 18-inch range, 4 dice, pinning. I can see the point of doing this, but you've got to be aware that you are going to need to get closer because it's 6-inch less range than your tag rifles. It hasn't got AP and marksman and vicious, but it does have 4 dice and pinning, so you could do a fair bit of damage on a light and medium armoured infantry unit. I would say, and maybe lightly damage a light vehicle like a troop transport. It's one maybe to consider, but not to go all hamming on all Pathfinder units, to be honest. Finally, you can replace the leader's tag pistol with a tag rifle for 2 points. The Pathfinders have got a lot of use, to be honest. In Dead Zone, they're just cheap units that can make a scout move before anyone's done anything. These have kind of got that as well, but they've got more range than normal enforcers. They've got AP on their weapons as standard, unlike normal enforcers, which don't. They are better at shooting, but they aren't as durable as normal enforcers. That's what you've got to worry about. Not only that, you can't increase the unit size, which could be a problem again. It's something to consider and think about, but I don't think it's too bad at all. I mean, to take a sniper rifle, to give the leader a tag rifle, and to give them stealthy, that's what, 22, so 132 points to do that. And that's not a bad unit by any case, to be honest. Most enforcers have got 2 wounds each model, so they have got a fair bit of durability. Even the Pathfinders, even though their armor's 5, they on 2 wounds each, you're going to have to spend a lot of firepower to take them down. They are more a scout unit, but they can do the goods, I think. Next we have the Enforcer Operatives. Speed 612, Shooter 4, Assaulter 4, Armor 6, 2 wounds, 2 health, sorry. Nerve 3, Height of 2, Unit Strength 2, 130 points. Advanced Training, Anti-Grav, Controlled Fire. So you get 4 operatives and 1 operative leader. They all come with the basic assault weaponry. When I say basic assault weaponry, that just means it's assault 1 dice. They all come with laser rifles, which are 18-inch range, 2 dice, trademark. 2 dice on them, pretty decent. On the squad of 5, which is your basic squad, you get 10 shots off. Nothing wrong with that, especially considering you shoot on them on 4s. You can add up to an additional 3 operatives for 25 points each, which makes it 200 points for 8. Yeah, you can't have a full squad of 10, which I find a bit odd, but that's just me. You can replace 2 of the Enforcer's laser rifles with one of the following. So basically 2 models can replace their laser rifles with special weapons from the following: a missile launcher for 20 points, range 36, 1 dice, AP4, anti-aircraft, anti-tank, devastating 2, targeting systems. So this would be pretty good on anything with heavy armour. It would be pretty decent on Forge Fathers actually, because they've got the heavy armour keyword, like I keep saying, but this would ignore it. You could take a burst laser for 10 points, range 18, 4 dice, pinning, I've already gone over it. An incinerator for 5 points, range 12, 3 dice, it burns. It's short range, yes, but 3 dice on a it burns weapon, that cannot be understated. Weapons with the it burns keyword, for people who don't know. Basically, if a unit gets hit with it, they have to take a nerve test. If they fail it, they get marked as activated. So you kind of want to use those sort of weapons on units that haven't activated yet. We'll come on to the Assault Enforcers later. A thermal rifle for 10 points, range 12, 1 dice, AP4, anti-tank, devastating D2, targeting systems. So you can target a different unit to, well, it's kind of like the missile launcher in the sense you can target a different unit to the rest of the models in this unit. It's shorter range than the missile launcher, but it's half the price. And it's only really good on anti-tank things, not anti-aircraft. and it's devastating D2 rather than devastating 2. I'd still go with the missile launcher over the thermal rifle, but that's just me. Finally, we have the fusion gun, which is 10 points, range 12, 2 dice, AP1, blast D2 plus 1. So basically, it's a shorter range, but more enhanced laser rifle essentially. Blast D2, so 6 shots at AP1 max. That's not bad. Minimum of 4 shots. That's pretty decent. I'd possibly consider it. It is short range, which is your main downside. I'd probably, if I'm going for a full squad of 8, I'd probably have a missile launcher and a burst laser if it was me. If I were doing a small squad of 5, I'd probably take maybe 2 fusion guns. Reason being, yes, the short range, but you get a hell of a lot of shots with AP. You can replace the leader's weapons with one of the following. Either a wrist blade for free. It's assault weapon. 2 dice AP1, which replaces the basic assault weapon. And you get a laser pistol, which is 12-inch range, but the same as a laser rifle. Or an energy gauntlet for 5 points, which is assault weapon, 2 dice, AP2 seismic, so it's got some advantage against vehicles. It doesn't ignore the heavy armour keyword, but it does mean you've got some really nice power against vehicles. I shall find it. It's page 42 of the keywords section. Hits from a weapon with this keyword reduce the heavy armour reroll to 4 rather than 5. So units that have got heavy armour, you try to wound them. If you're successful, you need to re-roll it and get a 5. This means you need a 4 rather than a 5, which isn't bad. In addition, when targeting a vehicle or a construct, hits from weapons with this keyword are resolved at +1 AP. And the energy gauntlet is already AP2, so this would be AP3. Nice. This could be quite useful on 45 tanks, but I really wouldn't do that with the leader. Reason being is you want them at range. You don't want them in close combat unless you have to. Yes, the assault on force, so it's not all bad, but you don't really want to go into close combat unless necessary. Like I said, they both come with a laser pistol. Replace one enforcer with a medic, and has the medic self keyword for 10 points. It comes with a laser pistol and assault weapon, basic assault weaponry. I'd probably only do that on a big squad of 10. Having it on a squad of 5 might seem good because you're still saving the points, but or would I though? Nah, I wouldn't do one on a squad of 5. Reason being is that they're going to be took down too quickly. Plus the odd sniper could take the medic out. It's something you're going to have to watch out for, unfortunately. But they aren't a bad unit overall. Like I say, have a big squad of 8 with a burst laser and a missile launcher. Otherwise, just have a squad of 5 with just one special weapon. Because having 2, considering what you can get, isn't all that good, I don't think. I think you're wasting the points. Either go big or don't, is what I'm saying. Next we have the Assault Enforcers. Speed 612, Shoot of 4, Assault of 4, Armour 6, 2 health, Nerve 3, Height 2, Unit Strength 2, 130 points. Advanced Training, Anti-Grav, Counter-Charge. So you get 4 Assault Enforcers and 1 leader. They've all got laser pistols and wrist blades. Have I just been over wrist blades? Yes, I have. So you can just refer to the Enforcers for what wrist blades do. You can add up to 3 additional Assault Enforcers for 25 points each. So that would be 200 points again. Would it? Oh no, it'd be 205. So the Enforcer Operative unit, if you have a full squad of 8, would be 205. So likewise, the Assault Enforcers would be 205.48. You can replace 2 Assault Enforcers weapons with 2 of the following. So you replace the wrist blade with basic assault weapons, and then you've got a choice of range weapon. Either Incinerator for 5 points, a thermal rifle for 10 points, or a fusion gun for 10 points. I would probably go with a Incinerator and a fusion gun, if I'm completely honest. Reason being is that you're going to be short range anyway. Oh, hang on, is the range different? Okay, yeah, there's a bit of a typo here. It says the fusion gun is only range 9 here, when it should be range 12. I know maybe it should be range 9, but I feel like it should be range 12. Put in the comments below if there's been a typo error there. The Incinerator is the first weapon I'd definitely take. The reason being is if you use it on the enemy unit and then move into close combat, well, no, there'd be no point because you're not charging them. Then again, the enemy unit would have counted as activated. It's got 3 dice on it though. But you are decreasing their effectiveness in close combat. I probably wouldn't go for any ranged weapons. Order. Thermal rifle now. Yeah, I'd probably take 2 fusion guns if I wanted to take any, or a fusion gun, any mix of fusion guns, because you're getting so many shots off even with just one. But I'd probably just keep them basic as is, to be honest. You can replace up to 7 Assault Enforcers, laser pistol and wrist blade with phase claws, and it's 5 points each. Phase claws are assault, 3 dice, AP1, elite. So you're re-rolling ones for close combat. That's pretty decent. I wouldn't do that in all scenarios because you haven't got any ranged firepower. But there's no denying having an extra dice and re-rolling ones for close combat capabilities isn't a bad idea. It's 5 points, so if you upgrade quite a few with phase claws, it's gonna get expensive. It really is. It's 40 points if you upgrade. All 8, which you can upgrade the leaders. I'll go over that in a minute. Yeah, add on the upgrades, it'll get expensive. So maybe consider it. I'd have it on the full squad of 8. Having it on the squad of 5, I think is a bit too low. That's just me. You can replace the leader's weapons with either a energy gauntlet. So you replace the wrist blade with an energy gauntlet for 5 points, or you replace the pistol, the laser pistol, and the wrist blade with phase claws for 5 points. Depends what you're going up against. I'll tell you what though, having the rest of the unit with phase claws and then having the leader with an energy gauntlet could be a good idea against vehicles, at least against light vehicles. Against heavy vehicles, not much cop. But against light vehicles, there might be a point to it. There might be a point. You can also replace one Assault Enforcer with a medic for 10 points. Just same as an Enforcer Operative one. Maybe with a medic. The reason being is that you want to keep them alive as long as possible, and unless you put them into transport, they are hot-footing it over no man's land. So this will help keep them alive a lot longer. Yeah, I'd probably keep them with no ranged weapons and either squad of 5, a full squad of 8, and maybe a full squad of 8 with phase claws. That's how I'd run them, to be honest. Next we have the Breach and Clear Enforcers. Speed 612, Shoot of 4, Assault of 4, Armour 6, 2 health, Nerve of 3, Height 2, Unit Strength 2, 150 points. Advanced Training, Anti-Grav, Controlled Fire, Counter Charge. You get 4 Enforcers and 1 Leader. They've all got laser pistols and thermal charges. Thermal charges are assault weapons, 1 dice, AP4, anti-tank, devastating 2. So they're a close combat anti-tank unit, which is pretty decent. Good against Striders, Iron Ancestors, or any many of Wolverines and Forge Father tanks. 1 Breach and Eradicate Enforcer may replace its weapons with one of the following. So you still keep the thermal charge on both, but you replace the laser pistol with a thermal rifle for 10 points, or a fusion gun for 10 points. Honestly, I'd probably go with the thermal rifle. Reason being is you are still going anti-tank. You're still going vehicle hunting. So there's also another unit I've just thought of that would be useful on. The Marauder Grunt Bots. This unit would be really effective against them. They wouldn't last a minute against. Oh, they really wouldn't. They're not cheap. They're 150 points as basic, so 160 if you want to give a special weapon. It's something to consider. Your opponent is going to take a vehicle. How heavy it is will depend on how well you know your opponent. They're sort of situational, but hey, someone's going to take some sort of tank or big walker, so why not go for it? Next we have the Enforcer Defenders. Speed 612, Shoot of 4, Assault of 4, Armour 7, 2 wound, Health 2, we know what it means, man. Nerve 3, 2 Height 2, Unit Strength 2, 140 points. Advanced Training, Anti-Grav, Controlled Fire, Defensible. You get 4 Defenders and a Leader. They've all got shotguns, which are range 12, 2 dice, knock back, and you've got basic assault weaponry. Before I go any further, the reason they've got Armour 7 is because they come with shields. And that's how they get defensible. Defensible essentially means that you get to go on Overwatch even after you've done all your actions. So you don't have to place them on Overwatch because they'll do it automatically at the end of their activation, which is nice. You can add up to 3 defenders for 28 points each. So that is 84 points. That is 224 points for 8. Not cheap. Not cheap at all. But they've got good armour to back it up. You can add a Enforcer Drone with a shotgun for 15 points. It's range 12, 3 dice, pinning. So you got pinning capabilities. I can see the point in that. You wouldn't want to get into close combat, but you are hindering the enemy unit a little bit. So I think it's a no-brainer, to be honest. That's just me. It is an expensive drone, being 15 points, but it can be very effective. You can replace the Enforcer Drone's shotgun with one of the following options. Stealth Drone for 5 points, make them stealthy. Armour 7 with stealthy. It's an option, especially if you have a unit of 8. That's going to be scary. Mine Layer Drone for 5 points. When assaulted, the assaulting unit takes 3 automatic hits with AP1 before combat begins, which count towards combat resolution. A lot of melee focused units have got pretty weak armour. This can change the tide of a combat. Also, they've got defensible, which means they're automatically going on the Overwatch at the end of their activation, so they will still get to shoot. I can see the point of that as well. Finally, a command drone for 10 points gives one black command dice. I can kind of see the point of that, but I'm pretty sure we'll go through it. There is a option that gives you a command dice, but it's a fair bit cheaper. So maybe not that one. The stealth drone, yeah, I can see the reason for it. And the mine layer drone also, I can really see the point of it. I'd probably take the mine layer drone over the stealth drone, only because if you're on an objective, your opponent's going to be stuck in assaulting you. So yeah, there's problems there. Or just keep it as a basic shotgun. That being said though, if you take the drone and replace its shotgun, it's a minimum cost of 20 points. And if you take the command drone, it's 25 points. So just think of that there. Plus snipers can shoot them down, so yeah, you've got that little issue to deal with. Next we have the engineer team. Speed 612, shooter 4, assault 5, armor 6, 2 health, nerve of 3, height of 2, unit strength 1, 60 points. Advanced training, anti-grav, auxiliaries, controlled fire. Auxiliaries means you can't unlock specialists, other command and support with this unit. The engineer comes with a laser pistol and basic assault weapons, and you got 2 enforcer operatives with laser rifles and basic assault weapons. Does the engineer count as leader, Mantic? I'd have thought it would do, but I'd like clarification, to be honest. You can replace up to 2 of the enforcer operatives' range laser rifles with incinerators if you want, because why not? You can replace the engineer's laser pistol with a laser rifle for 5 points. I probably would do that if you take this unit, so you can keep the same range as everyone else. You can add up to 2 sentry gun drones for 10 points each, range 24, 2 dice. It's a cheap troop unit, but you're not unlocking things. Maybe I'm missing something, but I can't see the point of this unit. Yeah, I'm missing something on this unit. I must be. I mean, the 2 drones. So what's that? 4 shots. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 shots from. Yeah, to be honest, it's cheap. It's cheap shooting. That's why you take them. So 20 points for that, 5 points for the laser rifle for the leader. So that's 85 points, which is a fair bit cheaper, and you're getting 10 shots off. No, it's 50 points cheaper. Yeah. If you want a cheap shooter unit, go for it. But you're going to have to take the sentry drones, otherwise there's really no point. There's really absolutely no point. Finally, for the troops, we have the Peacekeepers. These are the heavily armed enforcers. Speed 612, shooter 4, assault 4, armor 7, 2 wounds, nerve 3, height 3, unit strength 2, 90 points. Advanced training, anti-grav, controlled fire, countercharge, resilient 1. You get 1 leader and 1 peacekeeper. They both come with a Dominator rifle, range 18, 3 dice, AP 1, and they both come with an energy gauntlet. Nice. You can add up to an additional 2 peacekeepers for 40 points each, so that makes it 170 points for 4. Yeah, they're not a cheap unit, but armor 7 with 3 dice for shooting, that is 3, 6, 9, 12 shots, all with AP 1, and they've got 2 dice at AP 2 in close combat, and they've got seismic, which plus 1 AP against vehicles. That's pretty decent. You can place 1 Peacekeeper's Dominator rifle with either an incinerator for 5 points or a burst laser for 5 points. I'd probably go with the burst laser just because you're keeping the same range. But the incinerator isn't a bad option either. It's less range, but if you're planning to assault an enemy unit with the peacekeepers, then might not be a bad option. Might not be a bad option. You can replace any of the peacekeepers' weapons with face claws for free, which that's not bad. You can make them a really killy close combat unit. They do lose seismic, so you're not so good against vehicles, but you are pretty decent against infantry. Bear in mind, if you do that, you are going to have no range capabilities on that unit, so be careful on that. Even the Unit 2 of them, you're still getting 6 shots off with AP1. That's not bad, to be honest. That's not a bad option. Not really isn't a bad one. The phase claws, I'd honestly go with a Unit 4 doing that. It's a free upgrade, so why not? Yeah, phase claws on a unit of 2, I really wouldn't bother. Yes, you get 3 dice, so that's 6, but that's 90 points. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a waste, to be honest. Next we have the specialists, starting on page 87. First one is the heavy support. Speed 612, shooter 4, armor, assault 5, armor 6, 2 health, nerve 3, height 2, unit strength 2, 190 points. Wow. Advanced training, anti-grav. So you got no counter charge reactions. Okay. You get 4 heavy support enforcers and 1 leader. The leader's got basic assault weapons and a laser rifle. The heavy support enforcers have got basic assault weapons and missile launchers. They've all got a missile launcher each. So that means they can all target different vehicles or aircraft. So you could put pinning markers all over the place. You can replace the leader's laser rifle with a missile launcher for 20 points. That makes it 210. Even though it's an expensive unit, I'd always replace the laser rifle with a missile launcher. You've got 5 missiles, which devastating 2 can turn up to a maximum of 10 wounds going off. That's if you shoot them all at the same unit. You could split your fire, so you're causing, like, I don't know, 4 wounds at one place, 4 wounds another place. You've got options with this unit. I think it would be a priority unit for your opponent to take down because it's expensive, but it can be really lethal. Really lethal. I'll tell you one unit, before going any further, I do apologise. This would be a good unit to use against Forge Fathers. Because they've got their heavy armour keyword, normally you'd have to re-roll to wound them. But with these missile launchers, you don't. So this is a very good anti-Forge Father unit. Next we have the Pathfinder monocycles. Speed 1218, shooter 4, assaulter 4, armour 5, 2 health, nerve 3, height of 2, unit strength 1, 70 points. Advanced training, bulky, evade, scout and wield. You get 1 leader and 1 monocycle. They've both got sniper rifles and base and assault weaponry, which in this case have got 2 dice. You can add up to additional 2 monocycles for 30 points each. That is 130 points for 4. Can add crit test cloaks for 10 points. Gain stealthy. I'd do that all day, just if you take a unit of 2. Make them stealthy with how fast they move. Yeah. So that's 140 points for 4 with stealthy. They've got sniper rifles and targeting systems, so you have a fair bit out of options actually. You could really go to town on the special weapons, to be honest. And taking out some of the drones, yeah, because some of the drones, like, if you're going up against enemy enforcers, you could take out stealthy drones and stuff like that. That'd be really powerful. It's not a cheap unit like a lot of the units for enforcers, but they are going to be devastating, really devastating. You could have sniper rifles in your troops, sniper rifles in your support, in your specialists, sorry. So, yeah, it's not the only sniper unit in specialists. We'll get on to that. Next one is the Enforcer jet bikes. Speed 1218, shooter 4, assault 5, armor 6, 2 health, nerve 3, height 3, unit strength 1, 90 points. Advanced training, anti-grav, bulky, elusive 1, evade and scout. They come with, there's 1 leader and 1 jet bike. They all come with Dominator rifles and 2 dice assault weaponry. You can add up to additional 4 jet bikes for 40 points each. That is a 250 points for 6. That's quite a lot. That's 18 shots going off with the Dominator rifles. That's not going to be a pretty mess, is it? Eesh, yikes. You can replace one of the jet bikes Dominator rifle with either a missile launcher for 15 points or a burst laser for 5 points. If I'm going for any, I'd go with the missile launcher, just because it's got the range and you've got the anti-armor capabilities. Otherwise, I'd just keep them basic. Yes, you've got pinning with the burst laser, but yeah, you're losing the AP value. And to be honest, I'd probably keep the AP over the pinning because you're likely to kill more. They're a good harassment unit. They're fast and they've got more shot. Yeah, so basically it's kind of a fight between the Enforcer jet bikes and the Pathfinder monocycles. The monocycles have got sniper rifles and can be stealthy. I don't know why the jet bikes can't, because there's models for it. I don't know. They're also cheaper overall, but you can't have as many like the jet bikes. You can have a maximum of 6 jet bikes. You can only have a maximum of 4 monocycles. The jet bikes have also got more shots and have got AP, but the monocycles have got longer range and have got sniper rifles, so they can target special weapons. They've also got a bit better armor value, so you've got that going for them. I suppose depends what you're going for. Do you like what the jet bikes do? Go for them. They are really good at anti-infantry capabilities. Or do you want to go for the harassment sniper spam of the monocycles? They'd be good for taking out special weapons, and because they've got targeting systems, you can pinpoint them at different units, all of them. Yeah, you've got options. So next we come on to the Enforcer drones. Speed 612, shooter 4, no assault, armor 5, 2 health, nerve 4, height 2, unit strength 1, 55 points. Anti-grav, construct, elusive 2, evade. Elusive, before we go on, does elusive N, because every one of them's got a number next to it. Enemy units must re-roll successful hits from shoot and steady aim actions against units with this keyword. There you go. So there's resilient, which your opponent has to re-roll to wound. Elusive, your opponent has to re-roll to hit. That's how that works. The Enforcer drones have got elusive 2, so your opponents have to re-roll 2 successful hits, which could make a difference. You get 2 drones, 1 leader, 1 normal. They've both got shotguns, which I've been over, I believe. I think with the Enforcer defenders, no, they're different type of shotguns. These are Acrutech shotguns. Range 12, 3 dice, pinning. So they're a cheap pinning unit. Why not? You can add up to additional 2 for 25 points each. That is 105 points for 4. You can replace one of the drone's shotgun with a stealth drone for 5 points. Again, stealthy. Mine layer drone. It gives some nice damage before the unit evades, but nah. Command drone for 10 points gives you 1 black command dice. Possibly. And the reason I say possibly is that it's the cheap way to get extra command dice. I'd probably have a small unit of 2 and just hide them out somewhere so your opponent don't get to them. Yes, you are spending the points, and it is 65 points to do that, but you are getting an extra command dice. Or you could just go for a full unit of 4 and do that if you want. It's not necessarily a bad thing. But bear in mind, snipers are gonna mow it down like one. So something you have to think about there. Next we have the Pathfinder C3M4. I don't know if that means something. Combat drone. Speed 1218, shoot of 4, no assault value, armour of 6, 5 health, nerve of 3, height 4, unit strength 1 and 90 points. Advanced training, anti-grav, controlled fire, elusive 2, evade vehicle. And it's a pretty big vehicle. I think Mantic is sort of like using it, and it was part of the Gates of Antares game by Warlord. I don't really like the model, but that's just a personal taste. It comes with a tag cannon, which is range 24, 4 dice, AP2, marksman, vicious in shooting. Not too bad. It's got a heavy tag rifle, range 18, 2 dice, AP1, marksman, vicious at shooting. A tag sensor array, which is 12-inch range, 2 dice. The tag sensor array has a special thing on it. If this weapon hits, it deals no damage but tags the target unit. Until the end of the round, or shoot actions against the tagged unit made by units with tag pistols and tag rifles receive +1 to hit and weight fire 1. Now, I would argue this includes the heavy tag rifle of the combat drone. You might disagree, but if you do disagree, then what's the point of the heavy tag rifle? You might as well just use the heavy tag. Just use the tag cannon. But you know, that's just how I see it. I'd use the tag sentry array first, and then go for the other weapons. Reason being is that the other weapons might finish them off first. So, you know, you've got that there. Going for it. The tag sensory is going to be really good if you take a fair few units of Pathfinders. If you take at least 2, I think it's worth considering. Considering there's only 90 points and it's a special slot. So, yeah, you've got a good armoured vehicle that's fairly cheap. But if you only use like 1 or no command Pathfinder units, it's still cheap. It's still got the cheapness going for it. You can replace its tag cannon with either a particle beamer for 10 points, range 36, 3 dice, AP3, seismic, weight fire 2. That's not too bad at all. Or a MRMS turret, for God's sake. It's basically a missile turret for 15 points. Range 24, 3 dice, blast D4, anti-aircraft. So if your opponent's going to have a fly, which some forces might, some forces won't. Flies are a bit on the defensive side, but can be quite lethal on the offensive side. I'd probably either go with the particle beamer or leave it as is, to be honest. But that's just a personal preference. The missile launch is not bad, but it's better against aircraft. That being said, though, blast D4, they got 3 dice, so that's a minimum of 3 shots, maximum of 12 on a 90-point model is pretty decent, to be honest. It's pretty decent. Yeah, like I say, if you go Pathfinder Heavy, I'd say it's an auto include. If you're not going Pathfinder Heavy, maybe include it, but you won't get the best out of it. Next we have the Peacekeeper Defenders. Speed 612, Shoot of 4, Assault of 4, Armour 8, because the models will have shields. 2 health, Nerve of 3, unit height of 3, unit strength 2, 100 points. Advanced training, anti-grav, controlled fire, counter-charge, defensible, resilient 1. You get 1 defender and 1 leader. Comes with Dominator rifle, and the assault weaponry in this case a 2 dice AP1, which isn't bad. You can add up to additional 2 Peacekeeper Defenders for 45 points each. That is 190 points for 4. Not cheap, but they do have good armour. You can replace 1 of the Peacekeeper's Dominator rifles with either an incinerator for 5 points or a burst laser for 5 points. I'd probably go with a burst laser just because you've got pinning. An incinerator's a bit short range, but you have got high armour threshold and you're good in close combat, so incinerator will have its uses, I feel. It's just a case of I feel the the burst laser's better for this option. But you know, either's pretty decent. I don't know why their assault weaponry is a bit better than normal. They've got 2 dice and AP1. Have the normal ones? Oh no, they've got the seismic, haven't they? They've got good armour though. They've got really good armour. They're not cheap, but they are very durable. If your opponent's got a lot of high AP weapons, they're not going to be that hard to take down, but against light and medium and maybe even heavy infantry, they're going to be so much of a problem. This unit would be really good on an objective. Really, really good. Finally, we have the sniper team. So yeah, another way to get snipers. Speed 612, Shoot of 4, Assault of 4, Armour 6, 2 health, Nerve of 3, Height 2, Unit Strength 1, 75 points. Advanced training, Anti-Grav, Marksman, Scout and Stealthy. They come with stealth as standard, good god. You get 1 Observer, which is the unit leader. Like I say, I'm pretty sure the engineer for the engineer team is the unit leader, but it needs clarifying. The Observer comes with a laser rifle and basic assault weaponry, and the 2 snipers come with basic assault weaponry and sniper rifles. So, little unit of 3. I don't know why it hasn't got the small unit keyword, but there you go. I like this unit just because you've got a cheap sniper unit that can harass enemy units and just be an absolute pain. You've got armor 6 and stealthy, so you are fairly durable. Like their heavy support team, heavy support unit, this is going to be a unit that's a high priority, I do feel. But that's just me. Next we have the support, starting on page 90. The first one is the Strider. Speed 612, Shoot of 4, Assault of 4, Armour 7, 5 health, Nerve 3, Unit Strength, Height of 4, Unit Strength 1, 100 points. Advanced training, Controlled Fire, Heavy Armour, Vehicle and Walker. Comes with a Heavy Burst Laser, which is range 24, 6 dice, AP1 and pinning. Also comes with Assault Weaponry, which in this case is 3 dice, AP1. This would probably mean that it's swinging the butt of its big gun, and because of how big it is, it's still going to be quite painful. Pretty decent against infantry, not so good against vehicles, to be honest. But I mean, against troop transports and stuff like that, chances are you probably, because of the AP value, you probably reduce their armour to 5, so they'd be 50-50 to wound. So why not try it? Why not try it? You can. The Strider may be upgraded to a veteran pilot for 10 points. Gives the marksman keyword. Reroll ones to hit for shooting is fine, but there's better places to spend the 10 points. If you've got no other option, go for it. But if you do have the other options, take them first. You can swap. You can replace the Strider's weapons. So it starts off as a heavy support Strider. You can swap it to a urban assault Strider for free. Comes with a heavy flamer. Range 12, 4 dice, AP 1. It burns. Nothing wrong with that. And the chainsaw, which is assault weapon, 4 dice, AP 3, frenzy 1. So pretty naff against tanks. Well, no, it's not naff. It just means you have to re-roll successful wound rolls, and you need 5s. Yeah, it's not bad against infantry. In fact, against other armies, big monster, such as other Striders, Thor, pattern, and ancestors, corruptions, and aberrations, it's not a bad option to go for. You are short range, but you have got it burns. Or you could swap it for a tank buster Strider. The assault weaponry are the same as the heavy support Strider, and instead of the heavy burst laser, it's a Polaris cannon. Range 24, 2 dice, AP4, anti-tank, devastating, D2 plus 1. So it's a good tank hunter. So minimum of 4 wounds. So minimum of 2 wounds caused, maximum of 6. It's 25 points, so that's 125 points to do that. The Strider's pretty decent. It is cheaper than the heavy support enforcers, but you can't shoot at different units and cause all matter of mayhem. There is that to think about. Plus, it's harder to keep it in cover and out of the way. Next, we have the Accuser Interceptor, one of the flyers. Speed 1218, shoot 4, no assault value, armor 6, 6 hit points, nerve 3, height of 6, no unit strength, 100 points. Advanced training, capacity 5, fly, vehicle. So it starts with dual heavy burst lasers, range 24, 8 dice, AP1 and pinning. It's an infantry killer. That's all it is. It's an infantry killer. It's a good infantry killer. You can swap it to be a Arbiter Interceptor, and that comes with dual Polaris cannons, range 24, 4 dice, AP4, anti-tank, devastating 2. So minimum of 2 wounds, maximum of 8. Really good anti-tank killer. Or a Adjudicator Interceptor, comes with dual fusion cannons. Range 24, 4 dice, AP2, blast D2. Nah, I wouldn't bother with the Adjudicator, only because you're potentially getting maximum of 8 shots. Oh, hang on, no. Am I thinking that right? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, maximum of 8 shots. Yeah, yes, you've got an extra AP value over the dual burst lasers, but you are getting a definite amount of shots with the heavy burst lasers, and you've got pinning. So I won't bother with the Adjudicator, to be honest. You can add one of the following, but you lose the capacity to transport units. You can add missile pods for 10 points, range 24, 1 dice, AP1, blast D4. Not bad. It's a nice little upgrade. Or advanced sensory array, and you can only have one of these in the army, and the thing for it looks absolutely horrible looking. I don't know who designed it, but it's one of the most hideous looking things Mantic have ever designed. And I don't know why it looks like it does. It looks like a giant mushroom with missiles sticking out of it. It's completely hideous. It's 20 points to have this hideous mushroom. Has advanced sensors and tactician, 1 black command dice. The advanced sensors is after deployment, but before any scout moves, the player may redeploy to D2 plus 1 units. So if you are going if you're going first, you could use this after. Well, you'd have to use it after seeing where your opponent's deployed stuff, and then you could go, I'm going to move this over here so that I can see this unit much easier, or I'm going to put this unit over here so they aren't targeted as easily. It's options. It's not a bad 20-point option. The problem is that the actual physical upgrade for the model looks horrible, and you can't transport units with it. You're not transporting many models. You're only transporting 5. There are certain options you kind of want to go for with this. Pathfinders, I can see the point of doing for this because you get them in position a lot easier. But then again, they haven't got anti-grav, so if the interceptor dies, then they die. I suppose a heavy support unit, that'll not be a bad option. Just put them where you want them. Missiles! If I'm honest, I probably wouldn't lose the ability to carry infantry. Only reason being is that you can deploy them where you want a lot faster, and I honestly wouldn't bother. There's 10 points you can carry anywhere else. The advanced sensor array has its uses, despite how ugly the thing actually looks. Next we have the Persecutor Bomber. Speed 1218, shooter 4, no assault value, armor 6, 6 hit points, nerve 3, height 6, no unit strength, 120 points. Advanced training, fly, targeting systems and vehicle. Comes with bunker busters, which are 18-inch range, 2 dice, AP 5, anti-tank devastating 2, and anti-personnel bombs, which are 18-inch range, 4 dice, AP 1, blast, pinning D2. This is 120 points. Like the heavy support unit, is going to cause absolute mayhem. It's going to pardon the pun, devastate vehicles. It's going to be an absolute pain against infantry. And you can add missile pods for 10 points. Just to add on the mayhem. And it's because it's got targeting systems, you can target all 3 of the weapons wherever you want, as long as they're within range. It's going to be such an harassing unit. It's not even funny. Unless your opponent's got a good anti-armor weapon, or a weapon that's good against flyers, you're going to have problems. You are going to have major problems taking this thing on, I think. I feel like it's better overall than the Interceptor. Although, depending on what version of the Interceptor you take, you could be good at anti-infantry and anti-vehicle. This is kind of being a jack of all. The Persecutor Bomber is being a jack of all trades, but a master of none. Whereas the Interceptor can be a master of infantry killing or a master of tank killing. And you've also got troop capacity. So you've got that there. Next we have a unit option that could be seen as controversial in some ways, but I'll explain in a bit. It is the... Oh no, sorry. Skipping ahead. I'll go back to what I'm saying. Next is the Novichok Peacekeepers. And can someone put pictures up on the Mantic Facebook page, please, or on the Mantic website? I really want to see what they look like. I've only seen little bits. Come on! Speed 5-10, so they are slow. Shoot 4, assault of 4, armor 8, 3 health, nerve 3, height 3, unit strength 2, 150 points. Advanced training, bulky, controlled fire, resilient 1. You only get 2, 1 leader and 1 basic. And for 150 points. So they're not cheap, but them stats on their own, man. God damn. Armor 8 with 3 health. Yeah. Granted, high AP will do a fair bit of damage, but because they've not got heavy armor and they're not vehicle, they're not getting pinning from that. And you are going to need really good AP to withstand, to take them down. Forge Fathers, you're going to have to use missiles or magma cannons on them and stuff like that. I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I really think they are. They both come with assault weapons, which in this case is 2 dice, and heavy fusion guns, which are 18-inch range, 3 dice, AP2, blast, and D2. So minimum of 1 shot, maximum of 2. Yeah, maximum of 6, and that's with 1. So potentially you could have 12 shots going off just with 2, and this would be good against all heavily armoured units, well, mid-armoured infantry units. Forge Fathers are not going to like it, Enforcers are not going to like it. Most vehicles actually ain't going to like it. Even if you're against flyers or heavily armoured vehicles, ain't gonna like it. Ain't gonna like it. The only ones that probably withstand it a bit better is the Forge Father tanks, but even so, you're probably going to cause 1 or 2 wounds, I'd imagine. You can add up to an additional 2 Novashock Peacekeepers for 65 points each. That is 280 points for 4. It's tempting to do that, but it's getting expensive. You can replace any of the Peacekeepers fusion guns with heavy thermal rifles, which are 18-inch range, 2 dice, AP4, anti-tank, devastating 2, and that's 10 points. So that's 330 points if you do that for all 4. Against vehicles, well, against heavy vehicles, that's going to really hurt. Against Forge Fathers, they might as well not exist. But it is expensive. The heavy fusion guns are nice infantry killer. It's really nice infantry killer. And even if you take a unit of 4 of them, yikes. I mean, how many is that? That's a minimum of 1 if it goes really bad. A maximum of 6, 12, a maximum of 24 at AP2. That's nuts. That's nuts. They're expensive, but my God, they're worth their points. Oh, they so are. Someone's going to have to put the models up. I really want to see what they look like. Next we have the Ajax Strider. Speed 612, shoot 4, assault of 4, armour 8, because it comes with a big shield. I don't know if the Novashock Peacekeepers do. I doubt it, but maybe they do. Maybe they do. Yeah, the Ajax Strider, armour 8, 5 health, nerve 3, height of 4, unit strength 1, 125 points. Advanced training, controlled fire, defensible, heavy armour, vehicle, walker. So you can put it on Overwatch after it's done what it needs to do. Heavy Grav Ram Spear. Try and say that really fast. Range 12, 2 dice, AP2, blast D4, so minimum of one shot, maximum of 8. That's not bad. AP2. It's not bad infantry killer doing it that way. Assault weaponry, 6 dice, AP2. This would be good also against anti-monsters. Like I said before, other Striders, Iron Ancestors, well maybe not Iron Ancestors. Yeah, you could potentially do against Iron Ancestors, but they are armour 8 I believe. I'll have to check. Actually I can check now. Iron Ancestors are armour 8 and they've got heavy armour. Maybe not against them, but against things like Aberrations and Corruptions, I think it's a pretty decent job to do. It's a good combat unit. It's got controlled fire, so yeah, you can do a shoot action if you're being charged. I think it's better than the Assault Strider, but it is more points. That's your main downside there. Finally, for the sport, we have the Damantor. Can you not just call it the Dominator, Mantic? Anyway, the Damantor sniper platform. Speed 6'9", shoot 4, assault 4, armor 6, 3 hit points, nerve 3, height 3, unit strength 1, 120 points. Advanced training, anti-grav, construct, slow reload. A basic assault weaponry and a Polaris railgun. Range 48, 2 dice, AP5, marksman, anti-tank, devastating D2+1. So, someone pointed out that while on the base of it, the Accuser, the Arbiter Interceptor is better because it's the same points cost. It's got more wounds on it. It has got more dice. It's a better better tank killer. They quite rightly pointed out that because the Interceptor's got fly, you have to move at least 6 inch in as a action. If a flyer cannot move, it is destroyed automatically. So yeah, you've at least got that going for it. I still think the Arbiter Interceptor is better, but you can hide it in cover a lot more. I'm surprised the assault value is 4. I'd have thought the assault value would be 6, to be honest, because there's one man crew in it. It's not bad looking model, actually. It's not bad, to be honest. 2 dice, AP5, high priority against Forge Father tanks, and actually against any Forge Father vehicle full stop, because their armour is horrendous. You can hide it in cover better. I'll say that for it. You can hide it in cover better. Slow reload, you can move and shoot, but there's a penalty, but you're shooting on 4, so the penalty isn't that high, really. It ain't that high. It is also slow. That's your main problem with it. It's slow. Next we have the command, starting on page 93. The first one is the Forward Observer. Speed 6'12", shoot 4, assault of 4, armour of 6, 3 hit points, nerve of 3, height 2, unit strength 1, 75 points. Now before I go on, all of the command that have got the small unit keyword have got small unit 1. I don't understand that. Surely having a small unit 3 means you can still take 2 bodyguards and you still gain the modifier for being hit. That's just me. Yeah, that is just me on that one. I don't understand why the small unit thing is just weird for this. Anyway, Anti-grav, inspiring, scout, small unit 1. Stealthy, tactician 2 black dice. It's not bad. Command order, first strike. 2 command points. It's got a 12-inch bubble. All friendly units within 12 may add 6 inch to any range weapons, excluding weapons with the it burns keyword, when performing a steady aim action. That's not too bad. It's going to be really good against snipers. Well, then again, is it? They're 36-inch range. I suppose actually on normal units, 24-inch range, that's not too bad, I don't think. Who else? Who else is it going to be good for? Shotguns, they're only 12-inch range, that makes it 18. I don't think that's too bad either. Even on normal Pathfinders, they're range 24, so that makes it 30-inch range. Which, that's not bad. That's not bad. I think it's pretty good for Pathfinders. Which we'll go on to a bit, why it's probably themed for Pathfinders. Comes with a laser rifle and an energy gauntlet. We've been through them. You can add up to 4 Pathfinders for 22 points each. So that is 88 points for 4. So that is 163 points if you want to go with 4 Pathfinders, which I don't think a bad idea, to be honest. It's expensive, but I don't think it's bad. Or you can have up to 2 snipers, Pathfinders with sniper rifles for 34 points each. That is 68. That is 143. Still expensive, but you are getting snipers. You can replace the forward observer's weapons with a sniper rifle and basic assault weaponry for 10 points. If you're going for 2 Pathfinders with sniper rifles, I'd replace the forward observer's laser rifle with a sniper rifle all day long. You can go sniper heavy with the enforcers. You can go with the Pathfinders, give them a sniper rifle each. Monocycles, they've all got sniper rifles. Have a sniper team. And if you really want to be pedantic, the Damantor sniper platform is a snipering tank killer. What? Or that's what it really is, let's be honest. The forward observer ain't too bad, to be honest. Ain't too bad. I probably would give him the sniper rifle in any instance. The reason being is you could have him on his own. So you got the small unit keyword and stealthy. So that's a modifier of 2. A -2 to hit him. Well, a +2 to him, making him a fair bit harder to hit him for shooting. And if you keep him in cover, that's an additional 1 as well. So +3 to try and hit him. So taking enforcers as the basic example, normally you need 4s. With that you need 7s. Which, that's insane. I think honestly I'd probably keep him on his own, either for the command capabilities or just for the extra command dice and just picking off models and special weapons as he goes. Oh, there's one. There's options. There's options. Even if you do the steady aim actions against him, you're only taking out 1 of those penalties. You're still going to have 1 or 2 left. So honestly, don't bother. Flamethrowers and things with it burns is going to affect him greatly though. I'll give you that much. Next we have the Pathfinder Lieutenant. Speed 612, Shooter 4, Assaulter 4, Armour 5, 3 hit points, Nerve of 3, Unit Strength 2, Unit Strength 1, Height of 2, 50 points. Inspiring, Scout, Small Unit 1, and Tactician, 1 black dice. Command order, target acquired. Uses 1 command point. Mark an enemy unit within line of sight as tagged until the end of the round, or shoot actions against this unit made by units with tag pistols and tag rifles. Get +1 to hit and wait to fire 1. It's basically like the combat drone, but a fair bit cheaper. Yeah, if you're going Pathfinder heavy, it's a good option. If you're not going Pathfinder heavy, nah. You need at least 2 units of Pathfinders for it to be worth it. And to be honest, actually, you could pair them quite nicely with the Forward Observer. In fact, there's a starter box that Mantic sell that just have Pathfinders that come with 2 combat drones and a Forward Observer. So yeah, you could just go Pathfinders all day long. It does come with the monocycles though. That's the main drawback, unfortunately. You can... Oh, it comes with a tag pistol and 2 dice assault weaponry. You can give him replace his pistol with a tag rifle for 5 points. I'd do that all day long. Just give him the range. You can add up to 4 additional Pathfinders for 22 points each. Don't know why you can't give him some snipers, but hey ho. The unit may act Cryptis Tech for 10 points. Unit gains Stealthy. I don't know why he's not got Stealthy to begin with, but alright. That's 60 points. That's only 50 points less than the Forward Observer. Is a cheap leader, I'll say that. And if you're going Pathfinder heavy, is pretty decent. If you're not going Pathfinder heavy, really, don't take him. Don't take him. And even so, the Forward Observer's something you'd probably consider more if you're going Pathfinder heavy. And if you've got the points spare, you'd probably stick the Pathfinder Lieutenant as a second command option, which, again, it's not a bad way to go. It's really not, if you're going Pathfinders. Next we have the Assault Enforcer Captain. Speed 612, Shooter 4, Assaulter 4, Armour 6, 3 hit points, Nerve 3, Height 2, Unit Strength 1, 80 points. Anti-Grav, Counter-Charge, Inspiring, Small Unit 1, Tactician 1 red dice. Command Order, Rapid Advance, uses 2 command points. It's got a 9-inch bubble. All friendly non-vehicle units within 9 inch may add 3 inch to any advance or sprint move they make. This isn't bad. It gets you to move to an objective a bit more, gets you to move into close combat a bit better. It's very good manoeuvrability option. It's very good manoeuvrability option. It comes with a laser pistol and a wrist blade. You can add up to 3 enforcers for 25 points each. That is 75 points, so that would be 155 points if you do that. Or up to 3 enforcer defenders for 28 points each. That is 75, 78, 81 points. 81 points, so that's 161 points. No, that's not right. 24, 56, 84 points. So 164 points, sorry, to do all that. I'd probably just go with the Assault Enforcers just because they've got the same weaponry. The Assault Enforcer Captain may replace the wrist blade with a energy gauntlet for 5 points, or replace the pistol and wrist blade for face claws for 10 points. There's a reason to take either. Do you want to have anti-tank capabilities or better anti-infantry capabilities but losing your pistol? That's what you have to ask yourself there. Weirdly, isn't it normally 3 dice on face claws? Hang on. Yeah, it's normally 3 dice. I'm sensing a misprint here. It should be 3 dice for the face claws for 10 points. I'd imagine that's what it should be. But like I say, there's options really. You can replace one of the assault enforcers with an assault enforcer medic for 10 points. I probably would not do this. It's 25 points basic, then you're adding 10 points on top, so that's 35 points. So if you want to take him and a friend, that is 115 points. No, I think it's too expensive to do that. I'd just have him with 3 assault enforcers, or I'd just have him with 3 assault enforcers. I wouldn't have him on his own. I think he's going to be too fragile to do that for 80 points. I really do. Next we have the Peacekeeper Captain. Speed 612, Shooter 4, Assault 4, Armor 7, 3 hit points, Nerve 3, Height 3, Unit Strength 2, 120 points. Advanced Training, Anti-Grav, Controlled Fire, Countercharge, Inspiring, Resilient 1, Tactician, 1 green dice. So the best kind of command dice. Command Order, Firestorm, 1 command point, 12-inch bubble. All friendly units within 12 inch gain the Weight of Fire 1 and Vicious Shoot keywords. That, to be honest, is a bit of a naff order. It's still giving you bonuses, but considering what the others have done so far, it's a bit naff. He has got durability on his side, and he gives a green command dice. I'll give you that one. Comes with a Dominator rifle and a wrist blade. You can add up to 3 Peacekeepers for 40 points each. That would make it 240 points to have 3 with him. I'd probably have 3 with him all day long. It's expensive, but it just means you're getting a commander with some really powerful bodyguards. You can replace the Peacekeepers' weapons with phase claws for free, and you can replace the captain's weapons with phase claws for free. That'd be really tempting, to be honest. And the Peacekeeper Captain has 4 dice on his phase claws. I sense that's a misprint again, but that'd be quite deadly, wouldn't it? That'd be quite deadly. That'd be really quite deadly. Getting them into close combat, you are risking a lot of points doing that, but why not? Why not try it? Why not? Why not try it? He's expensive. That's his biggest drawback. The Peacekeeper Captain is expensive, but he has got good armour, and he gives a green command dice. Next we have the Enforcer Captain. This is kind of like the Assault Enforcer Captain, but more ranged than close combat. So all the stats are the same along the board. Yeah. Instead of countercharge, he's got controlled fire. Apart from that, the basic stats are the same. His command order is for the council. 2 command points. All friendly non-vehicle units within 15 inch can remove a pin marker. That's pretty good. That is pretty decent. Within 15 inch, so really I'm surprised it's not an aura, because it is within 15 inch, and that's kind of what auras do. It's kind of like a bubble within a certain distance, and this kind of is. But yeah, to remove pin markers on, and depending on what you go up against, you're gonna face a few HMGs and the like that's got pinning on it. You're gonna face at least one. I don't know how useful it will be, but because it's got 15 inch range, you have got a little bit of a safety net if things go awry. He can move in a bit, and then he's got the command ready for next turn if he goes out of range. You can take up to 2 Enforcer Operatives, why not 4? For 25 points each. That is 130 points. For 2 of them and the Enforcer Captain, which I'd probably do. You've got some range stuff because they've all got laser rifles. Or up to 3 Enforcer Defenders for 28 points each. Again, that's not a bad option either. They've got armor 7, so they can keep him alive for a fair bit longer. They are short range, but they are what they are. You can replace the laser rifle and assault weaponry with a laser pistol and a wrist blade for 3, or a laser pistol and an energy gauntlet for 5 points. Honestly, I just keep him with the 2 dice assault weaponry and a laser rifle just because he's got the range, to be honest. You can replace 1 enforcer operative with a medic for 10 points. If you do that, you can't take the defenders. Maybe on this one, and the reason I say maybe is that the command order is honestly pretty decent. Yes, the command order on the assault one is good as well, but it's a lot less range on its bubble. But you are going to have to spend 35 points to do that just for 1. Give it medic. If you take 2 enforcer operatives, at least you've still got some range on it. It's not a bad command option. It's not going to be cheap once you've kitted it out with bodyguards and maybe a medic, but I don't think it's too bad at all, considering its support status. Finally, we have the jet bike lieutenant. Speed of 1218, shoot 4, assault of 5, armor 6, 3 health, nerve of 3, height of 3, unit strength 1, 90 points. Advanced training, anti-grav, bulky, elusive 1, evade, inspiring, scout, tactician, 2 black dice. Command order, Iron Will. Uses 2 command points, 6-inch bubble. Although you have got a move of 1218, so you've got that set up there. All friendly units within 6 inch gain headstrong. That's a good anti-pinning resilience. You are going to have to get close by to be able to use it. I do think it should have been something else, but what? I couldn't tell you. That's just a personal preference of mine. Comes with a Dominator rifle and 2 dice assault weaponry. You can add up to 2 jet bikes for 40 points each, making it 170 points for 3 models. I probably would, to be honest. If you're going to take a jet bike lieutenant, just go all out and have 2 extra jet bikes with him. His command order is got weak in terms of range, but the command ability is, the effect is pretty decent. It gives 2 command dice as well, so you've got the extra command points going for it. It is only cheaper than the Peacekeeper Captain. He's second most expensive and is not that great in close combat, to be honest. But he's fast and he has got a Dominator rifle. There's that going for it. The Enforcers are one of the 2 big elite armies. The other one being the Forefathers. We'll talk about that in another video. They can pretty much do anything. They have got good close combat stats. They've got good shooting stats. They've got an amazing nerve stat of 3. Nearly across the board. Only the drones have got a nerve of 4. And even so, that's still pretty good. So for being broken and for testing against it burns, yeah, it's not going to be that easy to take them down that way, I'll tell you that much. Your main weakness is most of your units, if not all of them, are fairly expensive. Not only that, you aren't going to have many models in each unit. In fact, some of the units are only going to have 3 models in them. The commanders are also somewhat expensive, but that's offset by the fact that they can be very effective and they're fairly durable. Especially the Forward Observer, which if you get him in cover, he's going to be really hard to take down. They also have some of the most hard hard armoured infantry units in the game with the Peacekeepers and the Nova Shock Peacekeepers, which I really want to see their models, Mantic. I really want to see their models. They also have fairly good anti-tank capabilities. Their anti-aircraft capabilities are a little bit lacking, and their armor penetration values is somewhat lacking. They are good at anti-infantry and anti-tanks. Against aircrafts, they're a bit middling, if I'm honest. And against really heavy infantry, but if you are going to start off with an army for Firefight, they are the poster boys, to be honest. They are the jack of all trades, and depending on how you shape your army, they can be a master of all. You're not going to have many models, but they will be effective. And so, that's it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.